Hello and welcome to Brian's Got Game. I'm Brian, and today I got a game called Oceanos. Oceanos is a 2 to 5 player card drafting game by Antoine Bauza and published by IELLO. In this game, players are underwater explorers collecting creatures, building a coral reef, and of course, looking for treasure. Along the way, players upgrade their submarines by finding crystals as they explore their section of the ocean. So, let's check it out, and I'll show you the best time to use extra fuel, when to use your divers, and how to avoid the Eye of the Kraken in Oceanos. So in this game has a ton of punch boards and pieces, and then it has a bunch of little tokens. So I used the bags that very helpful came in the box and separated them by player. So in my bags that I made, I have the scoring tile. I have 3 of these divers and 3 of these extra fuel, and of course my submarine. So each player is going to have one of these, and the art is different for each one. So when it starts out, you're going to have this pretty basic submarine that starts out ground 0, level 1, right here. So all these pieces have these little 1 things on them, and then you put the divers on the areas. So they all have 1. They're all level 1. So this is your beginning submarine, and then eventually you're going to be upgrading your submarine to get bigger and better parts. And when you upgrade your hull, you get more divers. You upgrade your fuel tank to get more fuel. You upgrade your propeller to get more points each round. And you upgrade your periscope to get more cards. And you upgrade your holding tank to hold more fish. So during the course of the game, you're going to be upgrading parts of your ship. So this is Antoine Bauza game, so you have lots of different decisions and ways to go on this. So you could upgrade your hull a bunch of times, or you could upgrade your periscope, and then not upgrade your fuel tank at all. So you can upgrade it however you want. So each player gets to start out with their base 1, level 1 submarine, and each player, and then you keep the rest of it aside. Now, each player also have their own submarine. So I'm going to set this up for 3 players. Okay, so from these Kraken tiles, you pick a big Kraken, a medium Kraken, and a little Kraken, little baby Kraken. And you put these off to the side. So I'm going to put these here. And then you take the rest, and these are not going to be used during this game. These have negative values, so like -3, -2, -1 values on them. So whoever has the most Kraken eyes gets negative points. We'll talk more about that later. So then you've got these exploration cards. So this one's 1, and it has 1 cool tentacle here, which I noticed. And you put that here. And the second one has a 2 tentacles. And then you have level 3 tentacles. So you're drafting these cards. So I'm going to place these here. Then you put all the treasure tiles in the bag. Treasure tiles look like this and have points on them. Set this aside. So the captain, it's going to be this player for this round. They take the level 1 and deal the number of periscopes +1. So on your ship, you have periscopes on your periscope tile, and as you upgrade, you get more periscopes on here. So they deal out non-periscopes +1, so 2, and then they don't deal them to themselves. So these 2 players look at these and decide what they want. So they're drafting. So they choose one, place it down, and give the other card to the captain. Then the next player looks, gives one to the captain, keeps one. Then the captain takes these cards, looks, chooses what he wants, flips it, and then this last card is taken out or put on the bottom of the deck. Then everybody flips it over. So they start out on level 1, and it's lighter, and then eventually they'll get darker, and you put them under. But we'll talk more about that later. So on the cards, they can have a couple different things. You can have treasure chests. You can have different kinds of fish. So these are different kinds of fish, and crabs, more fish, turtles, and other sea creatures that you can collect to get points. Also, you can have Kraken eyes. So at the end of each round, the person who has the most Kraken eyes on that level gets Kraken and gets negative points. Now, some of them have zeros on them, so they're not that bad sometimes, but it's usually not a good idea to take that chance. And then also on these cards, you can have coral reef cards, and you're trying to build the biggest reef over time, so eventually you're going to be building up this reef, and then on other levels you'll have more, and then the person with the biggest reef scores points for their reef. And then also, there's these crystals, so that's a green crystal, and then this is a yellow crystal. So if you get one colored crystal and get one of these stations, research stations, you can upgrade your submarine from a level 1 to a level 2. So you can choose whatever you want and upgrade it 1. If you have 2 of one crystal, doesn't matter, still one color. Now, if you have 2 crystals of different colors, which is only green and yellow, you can upgrade from a level 2 to a level 3. Or if you want, you can upgrade a 1 to a 2. So this is good. This is better if you want to upgrade it to a 3. A round consists of 5 turns. So the captain moves to the left player. The player on their left, they're the new captain. So they deal a number of periscopes to each player, then +1, and then they look at what they want. Place one face down next to theirs, preferably left to right, so people can tell what it is. Give the other one to the captain. This player chooses. And then finally the captain. The last one goes here, and then everybody flips. There we go. So that was 2 turns, or 2 turns. So now they have 2 cards. So if the player's dealt cards that they want, like this player has 2 fish, 2 different fish that they don't already have, they can play their fuel to play one card as their normal card, and then the next one as a bonus card. So at the end of each round, you get your fuel back and you can do it again. Now, if you upgrade your fuel tank, you can do it more times to play more cards. So now this player has 4 fish, which he can't hold in his tank. So until the end of the game, until the end of this round, he's probably going to want to upgrade his hull. So he could just collect more fish, because at the end of the round, you can upgrade. It counts as an upgrade at the very end, as long as you have crystals. As long as you have crystals. Now, if you don't have crystals, then you can't upgrade. And then there. So once a player has 5 non-fuel played cards, so you go 1, 2, 3, even though there's 4th card, the other players would have 3 cards, or 4 if they played fuel. Once all the players have 5 cards, you pull out this score track, and then you count points. So on this, for rounds 1 through 2, you follow this order. First, they let you upgrade something, and then you count your fish. So you take the amount of fish you normally you'd take it apart, stick it in. So I'm just sticking it on top for demonstration purposes. So first, you take the amount of fish you have, 4. Make sure that it all fits. If it doesn't fit, then do the amount you can fit. If it doesn't fill it up, it's okay. Just use the amount that you have. So this player is 4, this player is 2, this player is 1. You get 2 points each. So 8 points, 2 points, 1 point. You could write down names, initials, or something, and then their points for this round. So you keep track of that, and then you get points for your propeller. So this one, you get 0 points per round each one. Now when you upgrade it, you can get 2 points or 5 points each round. And then Kraken eyes. So this player has 1 Kraken eye, 1 Kraken eye, 2 Kraken eyes. So they get the baby Kraken, flip it over, no negative points. Now, that's not very likely. There are other Krakens that give you negative points, like here. But they get no negatives, so they get none, no points. And then you start the second round. So it's the player on their left's turn to be captain again, and you get their cards. and you're going to start playing them under it. Okay, so they scored the first round, and then they got points. Now they just finished the second round. So they played a coral card, and the same round played fuel with another one, and then they played their other cards. So now we're ready to score. So they upgraded once, and then they upgraded again. Now, first they get to upgrade. So they have one crystal, not counting the ones already upgraded. So they're going to upgrade their periscope to a level 2. Now they got a pretty good ship here. They got level 3 hull, level 2 propeller, and a level 2 periscope. That's actually a pretty good ship to be in the second round with. Now they score their fish. Now, you don't count, you score as a row at a time. So now we only score the ones in the second row. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So now they get 12 points. Then they get bonus 2. So that's 14. And then Kraken Eyes, let's say they have the most, minus 3. That is a really bad one. So they get 11 points. Now, if they hadn't had the most, which 3, that's a good amount of Kraken Eyes, they would have had 14. So 11 points. Then we move on to round 3. Now, notice that each player has their own ocean that they're building, and then depending on how many fuels they have or play, it could be up a bunch of cards. Max amount is 8. We didn't show each player's ocean because that would take up too much table room. Okay, so this player played a diver on this one to collect their treasure. I'll go more on that when we're done scoring. They decided to go crazy on coral to get these points in at the end. So he played those. He upgraded here to get more divers. Now, he didn't end up playing treasure chest here. So if you hold on your divers, you might not be able to play them and get more treasure. If this card had a treasure, you can only play a diver on a one with treasure. Because you couldn't just play it on this card to get that treasure. Now a diver only moves up. So if he's here, he'll keep going up. He won't. If this card had a treasure on it, but he had already played one here, he couldn't go back down to get that one. He just float up. So he held on to his diver, tried to upgrade it. He didn't get a card with a treasure on it. So that was a waste of an upgrade. And then he upgraded again to get bonus 5 points. So let's score. He upgraded to get extra points. So fish, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 12. Plus 5 is 17. And then Kraken Eyes, he had a lot. He had 5. So he definitely won that one. -4, that's a ton. So that's 13 points. So scribble that down on the score card here. And then you score a coral. So your longest coral reef. So if you had 2 different coral reefs, you count the one that's the biggest. Not both, but the biggest one. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So they'd get 9 points. Then you do divers, so you look for all your divers and you move them up. 1, 2, 3 treasures. Now, if he was here, he would have only gotten 1 because there's no treasures. But he gets 3 treasures. So he takes the treasure bag and draws 3 treasures. 3, 6, 9 points. Now they also have 2s and 4s on here as well, so you can get different amounts of points. So he gets 9 points for treasure, and you total it up. Player with the most amount of points wins. Now, remember that each player has one of their own oceans with their own coral reef, their own submarine, own upgrades, and if you didn't have fun playing, well, look at your submarine and see how awesome it is. So, that's how you play Oceanos. Okay, got my dad here for a parent's opinion. So, Dad, what do you think of Oceanos?
I love Oceanos. It was my #1 game of 2016.
It was.
I love card drafting. I love Antoine Bauza, and I love the artwork. So
all those things are great.
Yes, for me, top-notch game for families.
Definitely. So the components, they definitely went crazy on the components. So when you first buy the game, it's a little nice box.
It's a normal size box.
Normal size box. Most games are like maybe 2-3 pounds. That one's like 10.
It weighs a lot. There's
it's
a lot of punch.
10 pounds.
A lot of punch board.
Heavy. Like especially when you first buy it, it has all the excess. It's very heavy, and then punch it, it's still really, really heavy.
Yep.
So.
Yeah. So there's a lot of bits.
Sink on them.
If you don't play with the max number of players, then you don't use a lot of them.
Yeah.
But they do provide bags, which is
So
a
that is
bonus.
very helpful.
So you can bag them all per player, and then pick your colors and only use the ones that you're
Yeah.
going to use. So that's
So
that's good.
that's very helpful with the bags. Now, the artwork, like you said, is awesome. They did like separate artwork for each submarine,
Mm-hmm.
and then they had artwork for each animal, and then the space station thing, and then all different levels of the sub.
Yes. Well, right. That, and on top of that, the ocean. Right.
The ocean.
So there's
yes,
level 1,
in the background.
and level 2 gets darker, and level 3 is the darkest
Mm-hmm.
as you get deep into the ocean. And as you sit back and you look at your tableau when you're done, it looks awesome.
It does. So, artwork is just amazing. Good job on the artwork. So, strategy, this is a very strategic game. So, it's card drafting, so you have to make choices on what cards you draw. Now, it's easy for kids because it's not very large choices.
Yeah, it is. It's on the lighter side.
So,
But yeah, if you're playing 2 players, a little bit different.
it is.
But if you're playing with whoever is the captain, you don't get any cards except what everybody is willing
Yeah.
to give up. So there's some choices there, as well as which cards do you play, when do you use your fuel. So yeah, you're going to go after your coral reef, or you're going to
Yeah.
collect fish, you're going to upgrade. So there's a lot of decisions.
There definitely is.
But it is on the lighter side. So if you make a decision in the beginning, it's not going to ruin your whole game.
Yeah. So, easy for kids, good strategy. So, overall, awesome, phenomenal components, great artwork, there's strategy, and it's easy for kids. So, like you said, your number 1 game of the year.
Yep. I think it ranked pretty high on your list as
It
well.
did.
So, Oceanos by IELLO. Go check it out.
Thank you for watching Brian's Got Game. Please like us on our Facebook page. Send us a tweet at Brian's Got Game. Visit our webpage, briansgotgame.com. I'm subscribed to our YouTube channel. I'm Brian. This is my dad. See you next time.